Welcome back to UN News. I am James May.
And I'm Richard Hammond.
Tonight we have breaking news of the recent outbreaks of violence in Angola.
On January 3rd, Angolan workers boycotted the cotton fields. They demanded higher wages and better working conditions. In addition, other peasants were burning their identification cards and attacking Portuguese traders.
Now, the Portuguese military responded very harshly to the attacks, now named Baiza de Casange Revolt. They bombed the village in Malange using napalm, killing around 7,000 people so far.
That's terrible, James. What a shame. Anyway, on this very same day, 250 MPLA militants attacked a police station as well as a prison, killing 7 policemen. Many police were able to escape with their lives, however, 40 MPLA were reported dead. So far, their attack has failed, as all prisoners still remain in the Sao Paulo prison, and they are allegedly tightening their security in the area.
Unfortunately, our live correspondent from the field, Michael Hunt, passed away 5 years ago in our broadcasting of the Iran coup.
Excuse me, James, but I'm actually getting some information from our producers that we have a live video stream from Angola right now.
Okay, well then we will get that to you right away. Welcome back to the studio. Joining us tonight is Angolan expert Madison Welch, who will be giving us a brief history of the events that are occurring today.
Good evening, Miss Welch. How are you tonight?
Thank you, Dick. I'm doing well.
Now tell us, Madison, what is the history behind the Portuguese involvement in Angola?
Well, the Portuguese began their occupation of Angola in 1575. During the 1950s, the Portuguese government promoted Portuguese settlement in Africa, which helped to spike the colonial population in this area. During this time, opposition to colonial rule grew exponentially. As the Portuguese involvement in Angola increased under the new rule of Antonio de Oliveira Salazar, opposition to the colonial control increased.
So, what is the situation in Angola as we speak?
Currently, the Angolan peasants are boycotting the cotton fields owned by Cottonang, a company owned in part by the Portuguese, the British, and the German governments. The reason for these revolts stems from a dissatisfaction with the working conditions while demanding higher wages. The Portuguese responded to the boycott with extreme brutality, which included bombings of various local villages. The death toll from this violent outbreak ran into the thousands of Africans, although there were deaths on both sides. This boycott led to protests in the city of Luanda by the Movement for the Liberation of Angola, or the MPLA. However, they were soon pushed out of the city by the Portuguese colonists.
Well, it looks like this movement is not going to last long for the Angolans, unfortunately.
Thank you, Miss Welch.
You're welcome.
All right, this has been a short episode of UN News, bringing you tomorrow's news today. I am James May.
And I'm Richard Hammond.
Now we will shift to our in-class correspondents in the future, who will give you a more detailed approach to this historical event.
Thank you, and good night. Thank you, Miss Battenfeld, and good night.
Communism Democracy is what they should have had. We need to spread our ideology before we get enveloped by the Red Sea. Communism is very, very bad. Democracy is what they should have had. We need to spread our ideology before we get enveloped by the Red Sea. Communism is very, very bad. Democracy is what they should have had. We need to spread